Another turnover by LA. Jones goes for Conchar. High archer.
How you want it? Show me my opponent. Show me my opponent.
What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies, home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today we are talking about our first round opponent. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
KeyAno.
Chris gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Diamond spiking, let's go, boy. He that MVP.
Unlike most Grizzlies fans, I got the opponent I wanted. I wanted to see King James in a playoff series in Memphis. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all like this. I am a long-time NBA fanatic. I love the NBA. And to get a chance to bear witness, yes, we will be witnessing LeBron James in a playoff series while he's still not at the top of his game, but at the top of the NBA in Memphis, live and in person. Man, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. If you are a fan of a team on the East Coast and you had plenty of series with LeBron James, or if you're the Warriors and you had plenty of series with LeBron James, it's no big deal. But this is Memphis. When the last time the Grizzlies were in the playoffs, going through the playoffs, LeBron James was on the East Coast, and the Memphis Grizzlies were not really good enough to make it to the NBA Finals. So to get a chance to not only go against LeBron James, but LeBron James in a Lakers uniform in Memphis in a playoff series. That's right. Show me my opponent, baby. I love it. This is what basketball fans dream of. You got a top 1, 2, top 3 player in NBA history, still averaging 30 points per game, coming to our gym. And everybody in the NBA, well, not everybody, but about a little more, most of the media, most of the people around the NBA are picking them to beat the Grizzlies. Man, I'm going to tell y'all like this. This threesome that we got, this trio that we got, I'm not going to call it a big three until they do something, like make it to the conference finals. But this trio we have, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane. I always tell you guys, and I have always said since since forever, even when LeBron first came in the league, you earn your bones in the NBA in the playoffs. And this Grizzlies threesome has the chance to start something legendary. First round opponent, LeBron James. Potential second round opponent, Steph Curry and the Warriors, the defending champions. Potential Western Conference Finals opponents, the Nuggets with 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic, or the Suns with MVP Kevin Durant. This could be legendary for them. It is set up for them to become the dynasty that we all think they can become. Now, I know everybody's getting nervous because we don't have Steven Adams, and Anthony Davis is probably going to dominate the boards. He's probably going to get about 7 or 8 offensive boards a game. But We will see. This is not going to be a preview. I'm just talking about what I saw last night with the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And most Grizzly fans wanted the Timberwolves because they didn't want to deal with Anthony Davis on the boards. Let me tell you, I can see the pros and cons of both opponents, but I want Ja, Jaren, and Desmond to have a chance to get to where Steph, Clay, and Draymond are. That is the goal, to build a dynasty, a rock-solid dynasty. And the way you start building that legend is you start knocking off these old dinosaurs. You knock them off while they're still at the top of their game. You knock them off. Because people are acting like the Grizzlies had a terrible season. You would think that the Grizzlies had a terrible season. But when you go back and look at it, you'll understand the Grizzlies did not play as well as they could have down the stretch. They had a little adjustment, had a little, something going on during the trade deadline when the Grizzlies were trying to make a big splash trade. And I know some people were nervous. Some of the players were nervous about who was coming and who was going. And then Steven Adams got hurt and Brandon Clark got hurt, and there was some adjustment phase to not having that dominant rebounding force in the middle. But they adjusted, and the Grizzlies down the stretch were as good as anybody in the league, including the way people talk about the Lakers being so good down the stretch. The Grizzlies were just as good as them, and they were just getting started. They still had games where Ja Morant missed some of those games. The Lakers were perfectly healthy, playing a bunch of teams. Some of the teams were tanking, some of the teams, were not. But what people call the Lakers' peak was the Grizzlies' damn near regular meal games. This is who the Grizzlies are: a top defense, top upper half of the league offense, and once they integrated Luke Kennard into the offense correctly, the offense was top 10 in the league, along with the defense being top 10 in the league. Don't play with it. If you want to talk about which team had the better close of the season, it wasn't the Lakers. It was the freaking Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson blossoming into an offensive and defensive force, but averaging 25 points per game over the last 15 games or so. Desmond Bane emerging as this constant contributor, not just contributing, a constant 20 to 25 points per game, just like clockwork every night. And then we already know what Ja Morant can do, especially in the playoffs. And then they added Luke Kennard, who has been giving them 3, 4, 5, 10 threes in a game, just killing it when left open. And y'all remember early in this season, there were so many times where Ja or Desmond or even Dylan Brooks kicked the ball out to the corner and somebody was wide open, be it John Conchar, Zaire Williams, or Danny Green, or whoever it was, and they were breaking threes. Leave Luke Kennard open in the corner, at the top of the key, above the break, wherever you want to, leave him open and see what's going to happen. It is a whole different ball game. And let's not forget Dylan Brooks. Now, we have been through the ups and downs with Dylan Brooks. Everybody knows the Dylan Brooks experience in Memphis. This season has been a trying time for everybody, even the most ardent Dylan Brooks fans, the people who have as much real estate as anybody on Dylan Brooks Island. It has been a rough season for them. But let's look at it. Dylan Brooks, for April, 11.8 shot attempts. And that's only because Ja Morant was out. In March, it was down to 9.2 shot attempts. But he had 11.8 shot attempts. Only shot 41%, but he shot 35% from three. And if that's all we need from Dillon, 35% from three. We don't need him to be a 40% shooter. We don't even need him to be a 38% shooter. 35% from three, taking 9 to 12 shots per game. That's it. Now, his shots are probably going to go up a little bit because his minutes are going to go up. But just in that range, that is Dillon Brooks. If we get that Dillon Brooks along with the defense, and Dillon Brooks was finishing a little bit better. Now, he's always going to be Dillon Brooks. There's always going to be some forced shots in there. There's always going to be a lot of missed shots in there. But anybody has to admit that over the last month or so, Dillon Brooks has played so much better. Ever since the dust-up he had with Draymond Green, he has been playing well. Defense has still been on par. Offense has been better. So, like I said, this isn't a preview. I'm just talking about the game. I'm excited, man. I got my ticket for Sunday afternoon. I hope you got yours. The game's going to be on ABC. It's going to be a big national broadcast. Y'all know the city is going to be on fire for this game. There's going to be no Pete and Brevin that night. So ain't no sense in staying home, baby. If you can get in the building for this first game, get in there, buy the ticket so these fake-ass Lakers fans can't get a ticket. Buy your ticket. Just at least for game one. We're going to drown their ass out because y'all know they coming. These fake-ass Lakers fans that's been in Memphis since the beginning for the last 21 years, these fake Lakers fans, we are going to conquer them with this series. This season will be the last season of the Lakers fans in our building being in huge numbers. Because once we conquer them, we're going to convert these Memphians into Grizzlies fans. So tomorrow tomorrow, hopefully I can finish my first part of my postseason documentary that I'm coming up with. I hope you guys like it. It's going to be a little bit of little documentary into the postseason. And then I think Friday morning, we're going to do a series preview. And then we're going to do, because I ain't changed, baby. Ain't nothing changed. I wavered a little bit during the middle of the season, but I'm still talking about the NBA Finals for the Grizzlies. Peace.